Like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos from PHN Learn. For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.
Hello guys, welcome to PHN Technology Private Limited. So in this session, we are going to learn about preprocessor. So in the introduction, while learning what is the compiler, how my C program works, I have given you an introduction about preprocessor. What is basically a preprocessor is. Right, there we have seen how the file is included and everything. Right. So here preprocessor means what? The hash. While starting with the program, we start with hash include and then a header file, right? So that hash represent a preprocessor. The moment I am calling hash over in my C program, it will directly call a preprocessor over there. So now you can see that let's say I have given a source code. So first the source code goes to the compiler, and that compiler when the program is compiled, the file goes to the preprocessor, and then it goes to finally it comes as an assembly code. So this is how your C program works. We have seen this architecture in my introductory part, in the beginning part, right? Now if let us consider a program like this. Okay. Now here the moment I am calling this program, you can see there in the beginning I have used hash, and the moment I am saying hash over there, it is calling a preprocessor. Here the process is having, let's say first of all let's consider the process as file inclusion. First process of preprocessor is file inclusion. Okay. In file inclusion, what happens? The moment it is calling hash, it is finding where this hash is given and where this file is. In the compiler, in the backend file, it finds where this header file is, where this file is. It finds in the complete program, it finds in the complete file. And the moment it got it, it directly include that particular file in my program like this. Here what is happening? It deleted, it neglected that hash include stdio.h part and directly include the file over there where that header file is stored. Right? So this is how your file inclusion works using your preprocessor. Okay. Now second is macros, using macros expansion. In the second line of the code, you can see there I have defined hash define size 5. So that 5 size is what I have defined already there. My size is nothing but 5 integer. So wherever I have used that size variable, it will exchange that through 5 with 5 like this. Okay. So here this is what micro expansion of your preprocessor. And the third step comes removing the comments. Removing the comments means I have given here the comment as print the hello world using for loop. So that comment will get removed through my preprocessor. So these are the three parameters in which preprocessor work. First was file inclusion. It find that in the header file, stdio header file, in that header file which functions are stored? Printf and scanf, right? So now that now my compiler doesn't know that what is this stdio.h, right? So therefore that hash is used to include the file where this printf and scanf is getting stored. Now that I have included the file over there, now my compiler can easily judge where my functions are there and where it is stored and from where I have to take the functions. So this is how your preprocessor works with your file inclusion. And the second parameter was micro expansion. So there what was happening? Whatever parameter is given, whatever integer data it is giving over there, it was directly exchanging that data. Right? So likewise my remove comment. So after this is the proper file which my preprocessor gives an output like this. Now the process will be source code, after that compiler, after that it will give to the preprocessor, and preprocessor does all these work and gives the pure C code. That is the pure C code, and it passes again to the compiler. Now my compiler has what? The pure C code. Now it is easy for the compiler to compile the code, right? So now after it the compiler gets the pure C code, then finally it gives to the assembly code, and this is how we get our final output. Therefore, we use the preprocessors to neglect the additional statements, additional sentences which we include while coding over there. Okay, so this is how your preprocessor works and what is your preprocessor. So this was all about your preprocessor. Hope you have understood the concept.
For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.